Hello everyone, welcome back to the video series of Object Oriented Programming with Java. Our today's topic for this particular video, that is a Java programming using exception. I am an instructor Mr. Ankit Patel. So let's start the programming. Now in this session I will show you the different program of the exception. So let's start the first program. So our first program is a write program that generate a custom exception if the first argument from the command line argument is 0. So that is our first program. So what we need to do? So here we need to generate an exception if we are entering a first command line argument that is equals to 0. So here there is no inbuilt class available for this particular program. Like you can see the different exception class available, like array index out of bound is there, number format exception is there, but there is no any specific class available that will check the given command line argument, first command line argument is 0 or not. So for that we need to generate a one custom exception. So we are creating a one simple class, and that will be a subclass of the exception class. So let's create a class 0, and that extends a exception class, that is our inbuilt class exception is there. So here now 0 is a subclass of exception, so we can throw this particular specific class. So now let's create a one constructor here. So I am creating a default constructor. In that particular constructor I am passing a simple message system.out.println, that is a 0 exception is generated. I am passing a simple message, and that's it from this particular class, and with a simple default constructor. So I have created a simple constructor over here. Now here the condition is simple. If your first argument is 0, then we are throwing this particular class. Now how to check the given command line argument is 0 or not? So for that I am creating one integer variable, and I am just converting the first argument to the integer, so that I can check that particular value of this variable is 0 or not. So here I am just converting that particular value using the integer dot parseInt method, and I am giving the argument args of 0, because I just want to check the first argument is 0 or not. I am not checking the rest of the value. So here if the first argument is 0, now let's just check it down. So I am just putting this particular code in a try block. In a try, I am just writing like if A is equals to 0, that means our first argument is 0, then we are just throwing, we are using a throw keyword, not throws, throw new 0. That is our custom class is there. After the throwing particular class, the catch is there. In catch I am passing the object of the 0 class, that is 0e, and once again I am just printing a simple message, that is a system.out.println, and writing your own message. The first argument is 0, right? Whatever the message you can pass over here. So here what we have created for this particular program, for custom exception we need to create a specific class that is a part of the exception. That's why I am extending the exception class. So here 0 is a subclass of exception. I am creating a one default constructor. In that particular constructor I am passing a default message. Now in a main I am just converting the first command line argument to the integer, and then in a if I am checking the if that value of a variable is 0, then it will throw our custom class, that is a 0, and I will catch that particular exception. So let's see and let's run this particular code so you can easily understand. I am compiling this code with the Java C. My class name is ex1.java. So there is no error in that particular code. So let's run it, Java ex1, and we need to pass one command line argument. If you are not passing, it will generate an exception. So suppose if you are passing 100, no problem, because I am not printing any type of message. But suppose if you are passing a 0 as a first command line argument, then this will rise an error, or you can say a exception, that is 0 exception is generated and first argument is 0. So hope you understand this particular program, right? Now this program is specifically for the if first argument is 0, rest of the argument does not matter because I am just checking the first argument. Now next program for the exception, that is a write a program that generate a custom exception if any value from its command line argument is negative. This is a similar program of the last program, but here what we need to check, the argument is negative, then it will generate an exception. But here not the first argument, program is tell that any of the command line argument. So for any, we require the all the value that you are entering in the command line argument. So how to run this particular code? So here I am creating a one class that is a negative class, that is a subclass of, because again this program is only created with the use of the custom exception, because there is no specific class available for handling the negative exception, right? So here I am creating a one user defined class negative, that is a part of the exception. Now I am simply creating the default constructor, and that particular constructor I am passing the something message. Now here what we need to do, here I am not able to convert just first, second, third, because I don't know what number of argument you are passing in at a runtime. Suppose if anyone pass a 2 arguments, suppose the second person can pass a n number of argument, then how to check how many number of argument are passed by a user? So for that particular code, we can use this args.length, because in array we have already seen that one length variable is there. Using a length variable, you can just check it out how many length of your array. So here length is nothing, but that is your number of command line argument in your when you run that particular program. So I am just simply just declaring one variable n. Now in here I am just putting this all the code in a try block. Now in a try I am just using a one for loop. For integer I is equals to 0, I is less than, what is the condition here? That is the args.length and I plus plus. Args.length is nothing but, suppose if you are passing a 2 command line argument, that length is equals to 2. Suppose if you are passing a 100 command line argument, that the args.length that is equals to 100. So now here I am just converting that each and every number into the integer, then and then I can check that particular value is negative or not. So here integer dot parseInt method is there, dot parseInt, that is the args of I. So the first number that I will convert it into the integer, then I am just checking that particular value. Now if n is less than 0, that means the number is negative, then it will throw a negative. I am just checking out this class, here the n is capital. So here what we are writing, like throw new negative if the number is 0. Then after this for loop, the try, the one catch is there to handle this particular class, that is a negative. I am passing the any object, then simply print the message system.out.println, that is the any of the, you cannot enter, I am just writing, you cannot enter any of command line argument is negative. I am just simply passing a normal message. Now you that's it. Now let's run this code so you can understand. First of all, what we have done, just created a simple constructor. After that, I am just checking out how many number of argument you have passed, that is args.length, and each and every number I am converted into the integer. Then I am checking that particular number is negative or not. If that number is negative, then I am throwing a specific exception. Now let's check it out. Our program name, that is java2 exception2.java, that is ax2.java. There is no error. Let's run this code. So here we are using a integer.parseInt, but suppose if you are not passing any type of argument, then it will not generate any error, because I am writing in a for loop. So suppose if you are passing like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, now I am passing any of the command line number is negative, then it will generate an exception, negative exception generated. You can't enter any command line argument is negative. So suppose if you are entering any of the number, now suppose the last number, or you can pass any of the command line argument, and if the any of the command line argument is negative, then it will generate an exception, because I am not just checking out the 10 number, 20 number, I am just taking args.length. Args.length, that will return the how many number of command line argument you have entered, and each and every number I am checking. If the particular number is less than 0, then this will raise an exception, right? So hope you understand this particular code. Now, in the last program for this particular video, that is write a program or write a method to compute x raised to y by doing the repetitive multiplication. Here x and y are a type of integer and are to be given as a command line argument. So till now we need to just calculate x raised to y, that is x power y, and both the variable of x and y are the integer type, and we need to enter the x and y value in a command line argument. But here this will raise an exception for the invalid value of x and y, and also define a method in main and usually finally in above program, and that's what is the user. But here I am not discussing, because I am already explained about the uses of the finally, and I am just using the finally in this particular program. So now let's check it out. First of all, I am just created, because in this particular program there is no requirement of custom exception. Why? Because when the exception is raised for the invalid value of x and y. Now here there is no any kind of requirement of the custom exception. Why? Because there is already available in the exception class, one class is there, that is called as an number format exception. Using a number format exception, you can check the value of the specific variable is valid or not. Suppose if it is invalid, then it will automatically raise an exception. So let's start the program. So here I have created one method, that is a public static void main. Now in main I am just taking the value of args of 0 and args of 1 in a string, and I am just converting that particular variable, or you can directly write here args.0 and args of 1. Now here I am just doing the repetitive multiplication of x till the y, that is x raised to y. This is a code for x raised to y, and I am predicting the value of z. Now in a catch I am just doing the number format exception. If you are entering an invalid value of x and y, and finally, because this program tells that use a finally block, so this will execute every time, because you can see I have already tell you about the finally block, that if the exception is rise or not, the finally block will always execute it. Now let's check it down. Let's run this code, java c ax3.java. Then we need to pass 2 arguments. Suppose I am passing 2, 8, then this will generate 2 raised to 8, and the finally block will be executed. But I am entering the value like 2.7. This is an invalid number. This is not a valid number, and if I am entering that particular number, then this will raise an exception, that is a number format exception. So hope you understand this particular program, because this is the only I am using the number format exception. Otherwise the program code is same as a normal program, like you are calculating the x raised to y, right? So here I am using a one class of the exception handling, that's why this is a part of the exception. So hope you understand all these three programs that I have explained in this particular video. So this is the end of the programming. So thank you very much. If you have any doubt, you can feel free to ask me. Thank you very much.